Okay peeps, today we'll talk about the VIP shop in the benefits section of the game. We'll go through all the items and give assessments and comments for each and every item and determine whether it's worth it to buy it. If you're free to play or pay to win, we'll cover both options. So starting with the items, first off we have two items that we can get with those dragon marks. The first are the lightning essences, which in my opinion, if you don't have the purple dragon maxed, you should be buying daily. It's not that much, it's 30 marks for 2 tokens, and it builds up buying 2 every day, so you'll complete your dragon eventually, instead of just waiting for all-out war. The other item is the blessing stones. I personally am not buying them, because I get my blessing stones from packs and dragon expeditions, but if you're behind on your blessings, if you're a newer player, you can buy them a couple of times just to get your dragon blessings started and going. Next on the list we have 60-minute speed ups. They are at a great price. I always buy them simply because paying 40 blue diamonds for 1 hour of speed up is just so worth it that you can't skip it. The same goes with the motivation. It's something that we all use daily, free to play and pay to win. We all use motivation, and that's a pretty great price for 1000 motivation. Next off we have the endurance. I personally skip this always, except sometimes when I'm literally at 0 endurance in items and there is an event that I have to kill rebel groups. In that case I would buy it just to get the progress in the event rolling. Otherwise I wouldn't buy it, even if the price is okay. I just don't need it that much. Next off we have the charm item that gives 300 charm. In my opinion, that's quite a bad deal. You shouldn't be buying it. You can get those from daily progress, and within a month or 2 you will get your wedding ring maxed. So it's not worth it to buy it, no matter if you pay or not. Continuing on, we have the Spirit of the Werewood Tree, the Werewood Heart. It's quite a great deal. I usually buy those when I have less than 10, so I can have some for events, but other than that I don't usually buy it because I get them from packs. So here maybe the pay to win players can skip this purchase, but the free to play players in my opinion should be buying it, because they don't have such a source of Werewood Hearts to begin with. Continuing, we have Lord Experience. I'll just skip that because that's a ridiculous price for so little XP. You can get 10,000 for 1.4k blues, which is such a bad deal. Next up we have 3 hour speed ups at the same price for the 1 hour speed ups, 120. I already explained why this is worth it in my opinion, so I'll move to the random books of wisdom. 1 chest for 50 blues. It's a nice deal, especially if your awakening, your commander awakening is lacking. And I used to buy those daily, but now my commanders are further into their awakening progress and I don't need to buy it as much. So here it depends on your awakening progress. If you're in the beginning, you should be buying them because you will be using them a lot. If your awakening is good enough, you can skip this purchase. Next up we have material chests and bad chests. In my opinion, those can be skipped. The material chests are quite obvious. The price is really high for something that you can get from gathering. The bad chests, it used to be okay to buy them, but since the rebel leader, the rebel group rework, and the fact that rebel groups give you badges nowadays, it's just pointless to waste 4,000 diamonds on a single chest. It's just not efficient diamond wise. So next up is the precise transfer at the 50% discount. I usually buy those if I have very little of them, like 10 or 15. Otherwise I skip this purchase. because I get them mostly from rebel leaders when I hit them, and if they drop me press size transfer, it's quite nice. Otherwise, I just use them up and buy them daily from the VIP shop. It just depends on your luck, I guess. Next up, we have the Oxmeat. To be honest, I've never bought this item from here. I usually buy Dragon XP items from the Dragon shop in the Dragon Island. I don't see the need to spend blue diamonds on these items. Moving on, we have some training speed ups. I usually buy both of them, both the 8-hour ones, just because it's a good deal and I'm constantly training troops, and it's quite efficient and beneficial for me to do that, to buy those speed ups. So if you're a castle that has a 16 million army in defense, in my opinion, you should be buying those daily. If you're, let's say, a zero castle, you can skip this purchase because you probably have a lot of speed ups stacked and you don't need to waste 800 diamonds every day for this. Next up, we have the Random Book of Wisdom again. I already said what I think about it. Now we have some grain items. It's quite a good deal. Sometimes I buy it, sometimes I don't, and it all depends on how much grain I have in my bank. If I have a lot of grain, obviously I'll skip it. If I have little grain, I'll buy it. It's as simple as that. And if I was free to play, it would be the same. Next up, I'll comment on the research speedups. I used to buy them when I was below 100 million power, but after that I stopped buying them, just because there's no reason for me to rush with my research. So if you're a player that doesn't want to rush with upgrading their research specifically, you should skip those two purchases. But on the other hand, if you're a player that wants to get the new research tree maxed right away, maybe you should be buying them. Moving on, we have some friendship chests. Here it really depends on your tavern progress. If your tavern progress is quite bad and you know you need to catch up, then in my opinion you should buy them. But if your progress is okay, then you can skip it because they're quite expensive. The discount isn't that big, so just do an assessment for your account and how well are you doing. Next up, we have Elite General tokens. If I was doing this video, let's say 2 months ago, I would say to buy them, but now I will advise against buying them, no matter what kind of player you are, just because from the werewolf tree, from the shop there, you can buy so many commander medals and convert them to Elite General tokens that this purchase just becomes it becomes pointless. Next up, we have Gold Dragons. It's the same as the grain. If I have little Gold Dragons in my bank, I will buy them. If I have a lot of Gold Dragons, I will skip this purchase. Next, we have the Craftsman Hammer. It's a great purchase for new players that are upgrading their buildings to level 25, and also for players that are upgrading their buildings with honor banners to the max level, level 10 honor. Also for players that are switching between mints and hospitals quite often. If you're not in any of these categories, you shouldn't be buying these hammers. It's just a waste of diamonds. Next up, we have again grain, just bigger packs. The comment is the same: buy them if your grain is low, skip them if you have a lot of grain. Continuing on, we have honor banners. It's a pretty good price, so if you're behind with your honor progress, buy them. If you're ahead, skip them. It's quite simple. Next up, we have advanced skill raffle token for the dragon. I used to buy those a lot just so I can get more skills to invest into my main battle skills to up their level. But at some point I stopped buying them because I was satisfied with the levels my skills were. So Again, here you should do an assessment for your account, and if you're happy with what you have and the levels your skills are at, and if you're not happy, buy them, and if you're happy, you can skip this and save some blue diamonds. Next up, we have Epic General tokens. If you're a free-to-play player, of course you skip this purchase. If you're a pay-to-win player, it depends on two things. First, how much you spent on the game and how much you spend on packs that give those tokens. And secondly, what alliance are you in? If your alliance generates you a lot of blue diamonds daily, then you can buy those tokens. It's not so big of a deal. But if your alliance doesn't give you enough diamonds, you should skip it, because buying all those 5 for one day is 28,500 blue diamonds, which is a huge price just for 5 tokens. Next up, we have the Black Bear Meat, another Dragon Experience item, and the comment is the same as the Ox Meat. I would buy it from the Dragon Shop in the Dragon Island. Next, we have the Warrior Summon 50%, the army size increase. I usually skip this purchase unless it's AC or some events that I need to have a bigger army, because then I use a lot of these items, and I would rather buy them at this price, 50% off, rather than the full 5k. Next up, we'll go over the other resources, the stone, wood, iron, and the rest of the gold. It's pretty much like the other resources we covered so far. If you're low, buy them. If you have enough, skip them. Okay, so next we have the ancient scriptures. This, in my opinion, is a must buy, both these 5 and the last 10. It's expensive, it's 15k per day, but in the long run you're getting a pay to win item with blue diamonds, and it's quite worth it in the long run. Of course, you will need a lot to unlock the T5 troops, but you'll be getting some benefits from the researches you do there either way. We also have the research notes. Again, it's quite the same. You're getting a 50% off from an item used in research, and you need a lot of these items, but along the way you'll be unlocking stuff, so you don't need all the research to make it worth it, if that makes sense. We have some more bad chests, which I'm skipping every day, just because I'm getting badges from other sources that are quite easier and I don't need blue diamonds for. And finally, the other friendship chests. The comment is quite the same as the previous ones. If your friendship and tavern progress are quite behind, buy them. If not, you can skip this purchase. So with all these comments, I hope I gave you an idea of what to buy and when to buy it, because some items are quite situational. For me personally, my daily expense is around 25 to 30k from the VIP shop alone, and that's quite a decent price for the alliance I'm in, for the money I spend on the game. And the thing is that these numbers are quite different for everyone, so you should figure out the best buys for your account. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time.